Dressmakers, you all requested for a tutorial of this blouse and I'm happy to share with you in this video. To make this blouse, you need your fabric, you need your pattern paper, you need your basic bodice pattern, you need your scissors and every other thing that you will normally use in sewing. I would like to say welcome back to all returning subscribers, and if you are new here, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. On my table here, I have my basic blouse pattern and my fabric, which I have folded into two. If you need a guide on how to draft a basic pattern, I'll link a guide up here on the screen. You can go check it out. I have my pattern center front on that folded part, and as you can see on my pattern, you can see my side dart. You can also see my waist dart as well. Here is my waistline, and then let's now start to cut. So I'm going to split from this center front on the waistline. Okay, on the waistline you are going to split that open and you are going to move it upwards just like you have seen me done right now. I'm going to repeat this for you to see what I just did. So on your waistline, cut that part open. Okay, then when you cut it open towards the side just like this, you are going to now move that part upwards. That your side seam should not be totally cut off. Okay, so once you move it upward just like this, you want to take out the waistline. So my waist, that is 1 inch, so I'm coming in by 1 inch from the waist just like that, only on the lower part, which is like waist to my hip. Okay, my 1 inch, that I'm going to take it off from the side just like that. Okay, so at this point it will seem as if the upper part is like 1 inch longer than the lower part, but not to worry, just join it together like that at the waistline. Join it together, don't worry about the allowance in the front. Now the next thing we are going to do to that allowance is that we are going to fold the dart leg that is upward. Okay, and for the dart leg that is upward to be relaxed, we will need to transfer that dart. If you need a bit of guide on how to transfer a dart, let me know. You can drop in the comments that transfer or that manipulation. I'll do a video on that manipulation and that transfer so that we can really understand. Okay, but I believe you should be able to understand it, but if not, let me know in the comments so we could do a video, a tutorial on that. So after closing the dart just like this, the dart has been transferred. You can now see that these two parts is now meeting properly. Okay, so we are going to cross out this dart. This tells us that we don't need this dart anymore because we already took it off from the side. So now you are going to now close the bust dart as well, and when you close it, you are going to now transfer it to the same point that you transferred the waist dart into. All right, this video is a little bit of the intermediate class. Like I said, if you need a guide, you need help on that transfer and manipulation, let me know. I'll do a video on that transfer and manipulation. So flip this whole upper part, flip it up just like this. It just depends on how much fabric you have is what is going to form the volume that you want at the front. Okay, so all you need to do is just flip it up just like that. Then you can just get something to pin it down, as long as you are sure that the volume that you have is just enough. So now you can see I added my seam allowance all around, and I've marked this point. This is the center front, then this extension goes all the way to the top like this. You will not have any issue if you follow this tutorial just like I'm showing you right now. Okay, now after adding all your seam allowance, you can now cut. Okay, add your seam allowance to the side. I didn't add my seam allowance to this side because I already added it on the pattern, so I don't need it on the fabric anymore. So once that is done, here is what cutting the side looks like. I added seam allowance on the M line. Okay, the M allowance, that's the 1 inch that you see below right there. So here is what we have after cutting it out. Okay, now this part we will now, this is the center front. You can see that notch. That notch is important to guide us by the time we are sewing. I'm not going to sew this straight extension, this pointed extension. I'll sew it to this center front point right here. And now I have sewn it from that pointy edge to my center front notch right here. Okay, so I've sewn that, and then the next thing is I'm going to be cutting my interlining I would advise that when you want to cut your lining and interlining, which means you will cut two of each, it simply means that you have to cut it on your full pattern before you dismantle. I had to like rearrange everything for me to be able to cut it. So this net is my interlining, okay? And after I have sewn this point, okay, to that my notch part on the center front, I also went ahead to take in all my darts like I would normally do for the interlining. This net is the interlining. I've also the hem line, okay, of the blouse. So you're just going to like pull and pleat in from the side like this. So you put your hand into like the armhole, then you will pull and you will pleat in just like this. All right, here is how we started. All right, with the pointy edge, then I open the center front, then I pull in just like this, and then I'm going to be laying it over my interlining. This is just for the sake of tutorial. I use this as my lining, but I will advise you have an interlining because you will need to tack all of these things down for you to have a very neat inner. Like if the blouse is torn inside, so that it is very neat, I will advise you have two lining. One will be in between where you will do all of the pleating and tacking that I'm about to do on top. Then the other one, you will now hem it from the hem line. You will now sew it. Then you will pull upward just like you normally do with your lining. Okay. The next thing will be to sew the neckline. Then start picking this and then pinning it and tacking it one after the other. Now I've sewn the neckline and I've turned in. As you can see, I also did notch. Okay, so if you have an interlining, you will not need to turn the neckline at this point. You have to first tack everything down first before you now go and add it to the lining. Then you will turn the neckline and turn the hem of the blouse. Okay, but since I don't have any interlining, this is also like my lining, that's why I turned the neckline. But I would advise you have an interlining. Okay, so take a look at how I'm picking and pleating this in to form the rose petal kind of effect at the front. This is actually quite easy. If you can get the drafting right, this is quite easy. And if you have not given this video a thumbs up till now, just take a pause and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. So now I'm just going to be pinning everything down. Pin down just like that. Okay, pin down on both parts of the shoulder, pin down at the front, pin down on the side. You just want to pin everything with the lining properly. Let everything be on the same line. Okay, I'm pinning it down to my net like this. So once you have pinned everything, like the surroundings round, you can now begin to manipulate and work on the rose petal part. Okay, so now I can now start picking the rose petals and then pinning it in place as well. So once I've been able to get a little bit of what I want from here and I pin it down, I'll also take it to my dress form. That way it can like relax on my dress form just like it will relax on the body. So now it is here on my dress form. Now take a look at what it looks like. At this point, all that I have on this is just pins. Okay, so now I'm going to now be adding more pins to secure all of these parts together. Okay, I'm also going to be adding some beads to this blouse at the end of the day, but for now let's just add pins and let's get all the rows looking nice first. Okay, now the next thing after this pin is for you to now go ahead with your needle and thread, and then for every part that you pin, you will untack everything in place. This is a work of patience, but I can tell you, if you can give it your best, the result is always going to be nice. This design took some time to create, but at the end of the day, when I saw the outcome, I really loved it. So I'm going to take it off my dress form now, and the stitching and untacking will begin. So take it off your dress form. Be careful not to scatter all the pleats that you have made, okay, when you are taking it from your dress form. Now get a matching thread with my needle well threaded, and then pick a pinch of fabric. Okay, if you have an interlining, all you need to do is the tacking will be this front fashion fabric and the interlining. Okay, all this tacking that we are doing, we are going to be doing it on the interlining. This will be before you like close the hem line and before you turn the neck. Okay, so you will tack it like this, one by one, one after the other. Once I tack a point, I cut, because I really want this to still be neat. Okay, I pick another point just like this with my needle and my thread, then I tack once, twice, 3 times, just for it to be well secured. And the moment it's well secured, I go ahead and I secure the knot and I cut as well. Then I move to another point, and this was how I just actually untack everything. Like you have a lot of pins that made this effect to be like this, so ensure that everywhere that pin is, you tack everything down. That way, by the time you remove all the pins, you will have the rose effect still standing firm on your interlining. So at this point, I feel that having some beads right here will actually pop and bring the design to life. If you have a need for a guide on how to attach beads on fabric, here is a video up on your screen that you can actually make use of to learn that. Now once you are done adding all of your beads, then you can now go ahead to turn the neckline with the lining on the hem line as well. Turn it with the lining, turn the back that you have prepared, join shoulder to shoulder, and then side seam to side seam. Then after all this is done, you can now go ahead to add your sleeve to this design. This front part is actually the most technical, and that is why I actually took my time to explain everything to you all. By the time you are done, you should have something that looks like this. If you have not given this video a thumbs up yet, this is the right time to do so. Also share this video with your sewing friends, and I'll see you in this next video. Bye.